Joining us now with more reaction, Florida Congressman Matt Gaetz. He was in the middle of the party, along with Fox. That's a total lie, by the way. And Fox News contributor Lawrence Jones, who's covered spring break for us in the past. You know what I worry about, LJ? You were down there for us doing reports, and the hardest part of this is there are drug dealers that prey on these kids knowing that they're there, and they are selling them drugs that they misrepresent what they're selling. Nobody knows what the hell is in it. Of course, the kids are drinking too much. You have allegations every spring break, sexual assaults, and it becomes dangerous in that environment. I understand kids aren't really that afraid of COVID, but I worry about them going home and saying hi to mom and dad and grandma and grandpa.
Well, in many cases, the parents are footing the bill, Sean. I honestly, you know, the media is kind of late to this story. We've been covering this for years.
You know my son. You know I'm not footing that bill. That is not happening.
Well, my parents weren't going to pay for me to go to spring break as well. You know, Sean, we've been covering this for years. Last year, the year before that, spring break gets out of control in all of these major cities. The thing that I would caution people, it seems like this story has taken a turn. This has become an anti-Florida story. A lot of people already don't like America's governor, Ron DeSantis, opening it up, and now they're blaming Florida for allowing this to happen when he's just letting people choose their own destiny. And like I said, where were they years ago when we were covering this every single year in Daytona Beach, Miami? So we've been doing this for a long time. This is no different than any other spring break, if you ask me.
Yeah, Matt, look, I kind of understand kids, the situation they're in. I mean, it's been rough for a lot of kids. If they're in school with COVID and virtual classes and they want to get together and they're missing out on, you know, an important year of their life, I understand that. But on the other hand, what we're witnessing down here is way out of control. Your thoughts? It's your home state.
My son is a college freshman. He had no real graduation, no prom, and I struggled with whether or not to allow him to enjoy spring break at Panama City Beach. I allowed him to have an abbreviated one. I did not have a good night's rest the entire time he was there until I knew he was safe, okay, and back at school. But let me share a message on behalf of my fellow Florida man and Florida woman. If you want to come to our state to enjoy freedom, to go out to a restaurant, go to the beach, fishing, get a little weird, not too weird, then as we say in the Deep South, y'all come.
What does that mean, get a little weird? Define that. What does that mean?
Florida man, Florida woman, that means, like, you know, maybe a little body paint here and there, maybe you throw some beads, but don't hurt anybody, because in the state of Florida, if you're going to cause harm to another individual, we have laws that protect law-abiding citizens. We have a castle doctrine. We have a stand your ground law, and that, I think, should encourage people to be law-abiding and kind to one another.
But Sean, what did they expect, though, Sean?
LJ,
like they told them 2 weeks to slow the spread. You've kept these kids locked up in their apartments for over a year. You don't think they were going to go a little crazy when they finally got to go see people of the opposite sex and had the opportunity to go to the beach and drink and all that? This was bound to happen.
I'm not disagreeing.
To that point, Sean, isn't everything just a little crazier after the lockdowns? Whether it was January 6th or the BLM riots or spring break, when you have this mentality of lockdowns in large swaths of the country, there is an impact on mental health, and we see that manifest where things that normally should not go crazy are all going a little crazier now.
I got it. The only thing I would say, not that these kids are necessarily watching this show, if you had a good time, you didn't wear your mask, you didn't social distance, stay away from grandma and grandpa for 14 days. Stay away from mom and dad for 14 days. At least protect them. Kids are not impacted the same way the elderly are, those with compromised immune systems, comorbidities, underlying conditions. Otherwise, I guess they're not going to listen to what I have to say anyway.
When the hangover is over, Sean, they'll come to their senses. Nobody wants to see their grandparents. Grandkids, they love their grandparents more than they love the parents. I can attest to that. So I think once the liquor wears off, they'll do the right thing and just stay home.
All right. LJ, thank you. Congressman Gaetz, thank you.
This is Congressman Matt Gaetz. If you liked that video, make sure you like and subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on social media, and join us on our daily podcast, Hot Takes with Matt Gaetz, on your favorite podcast listening platform.